Hey, Romie here. So this is the recap, the review for Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 7, Episode 4, A Life to Envy. And the episode actually starts off, was this Episode 3 or Episode 4? I think it's Episode 4. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you're a first-time viewer and if you're a returning viewer, please like and comment on this video. I appreciate you for returning back, even if you weren't subscribed. Let's jump into this, though. So the episode, we're going to segment this into different parts. I'm actually going to start with Dolores. Yes, with Dolores. Dolores is having the issue of her daughter is going to be going away to college soon. And, well, no, her daughter's already in school. And she's really proud of her daughter because, unlike her, because of the background that she came from, a very traditional Italian background. Is it an Italian background? I know she's mixed, but I'm thinking the Italian side. She was not allowed to, it was like school. What do you mean school? College? You can't afford college, so you can't go to college. You need to worry about finding a husband and raising a family. And that's how a lot of people thought that, especially for their daughters, that's how they were going to make sure that their daughters were taken care of and okay. Now, the reality is that's definitely a bad mindset, especially nowadays, because that'll also make people feel like, okay, they're stuck. They can't do things by themselves if it doesn't work out that way. And Dolores is just so proud of her daughter because her daughter learned from her. Because, of course, Dolores did actually have to struggle. It wasn't this just she found a husband and it was happily ever after. There was a period where she really had to struggle and make a way. And she would always say, you know, unfortunately, she doesn't have that education, meaning she doesn't have that degree. So even if she can technically do certain jobs, she wouldn't be able to qualify for those jobs, which made their lives very difficult at that time. So she's proud of her daughter. Her daughter loves animals. The animal that she has, I forgot what it was cute, but the dog was trying to go after it. That dog wanted to eat, you can't tell me anything, that dog wanted to eat that damn animal. And we get past that. Speaking of families, we'll go to Melissa's family. Joe is actually at home watching the kids, and he does not like it. I almost said hate it, but those are his kids, so of course he doesn't hate it. He just doesn't like it because, you know, very traditional. He wants his wife to be at home. He wants, his wife to be at home and him to be at work. And she's on this whole independent, trying to open up her boutique. And originally she said she was going to come home at a certain time. But of course, the grand opening's right around the corner, so she's not able to do so. So his 3 kids are running around outside and they're making a mess, and he's on the phone because he's working on this, of course, multi-million-dollar contract, and he has to keep stopping with the market doing the blueprints because one kid's doing this, one kid's getting himself really dirty. The dog keeps running around. It's like, someone get the dog. So at one point, they're in the kitchen, and his daughter goes to wash the dog, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be wet. And then she's just like, Mom! I was like, those kids are really cute. They're really cute. Let me tell you this one thing. With my child, or children, I only want one, but with my child or children, I'm letting it be known. Right now, I'm proclaiming this. I have sensitive ears. I cannot do that loud. Neither could my mom, so I was a very quiet child. I talked a lot. You know, I talked a lot at home, not in public, but at home. But I never did that. No, not even as a baby. No, she made sure that didn't happen. Yeah, so anyway, we'll move on from that. And what ends up happening is, you know, Joe has a heart-to-heart with her. And it's just like, you know, I understand you're doing your thing, but I still need you to be at home helping me out, or taking care of the kids. And so she's just like, wait a minute, so basically you're saying me pursuing my dreams doesn't matter? He's like, well, your dreams are great, but I still need you to be at home taking care of the kids. So she's saying, you know what, fine. Just meaning that she's not going to stop doing what she's doing, but she's going to create some type of balance because she also is the one that cooks, cleans, you know, the whole gambit. So now she's not doing any of that. And he's like, I'm used to a certain thing, at least cooking. Can you prepare something? She's like, yeah, I can do that. Yes, husband. Yes, dear. And So it's nice to see them all balanced out. I'm like, okay, this is all cute, but when is the BS and the drama gonna occur? We see Siggy's family, and right now she's going through it with her daughter, who of course is, I think, 14, and she wants to dress a certain way, and she wants to wear a certain type of clothing and dress a certain way, put on a lot of makeup. And she's like, I'm going to a party, and she had this, it was basically just like basically, and of course she's young, so it's not like there's anything like spilling out or like, oh my gosh, but the fact that she's young and she was just exposing and so much and had the tight pants, she's like, where do you think you're going looking like that? Go and change. And the other thing she has to deal with her daughter is, her daughter, I think it's hers, it's either hers or, yeah, it's hers, who loves the phone like no other. And so she also has to deal with this, like, wait a minute, so you love this phone, but you don't love these grades. So you got a 76 or 73 on your test. And she's like, yeah. And she was like, so what do you think about it? I was like, it's average. She was like, yeah, so this is average. Is there anything average about you? No. It's like, okay, so we're going to do something about that. I was like, okay, Ziggy, I see you. And then with her son, I guess, is Mr. Casanova. So he's coming home with hickeys and probably some other things too. And so she's like, oh, my baby, I love you so much. It's like, yeah, I love you too, but can you kind of give me an hour or two? You know, I had something to do. It really wasn't much of anything, but yeah, I just want some space. And so she's like, when did it turn to your kids not loving you and wanting to be around you, not thinking mom's cool? And Teresa's family. Teresa right now, we're not seeing that much of her home life. All we're seeing is that she wants to go and connect. Oh yeah, Siggy goes and talks with Jacqueline because of course there's all these rumors about Teresa, you know, and Joe, there being infidelity and cheating and possibly a divorce. So Siggy wants to pretty much bring it up to Teresa, and Jacqueline said, no, trust me, from past experiences, that did not go well. You are my friend, so I'm telling you, please do not do that. Please do not do that. Just no. But Siggy's going to go and do it anyway because she's very upfront, she's very honest. It's not in a malicious way. She just wants to put it out there that people are saying certain things like that. Of course, she doesn't believe it. And it's interesting because Jacqueline's talking about her relationship with Teresa, or kind of. But Ashley, her daughter, was saying, okay, so when was the last time you actually spoke with Teresa? You know, aside from our coming to Jesus moment, not recently. So she's saying, okay, so you brought up the olive branch and all, but she really hasn't done anything to try and connect with you. It's like, look, Teresa, and this is where Ashley, I was like, oh, this is why, I was like, I don't recognize this new Ashley, but a little bit of the old Ashley came back. She wasn't wrong, though. She was not wrong. She wasn't saying it in a bratty or malicious way. She was saying it in an honest way. You have to watch out for Teresa because, you know, she's the type to fake the funk and, you know, everything's good. Let bygones be bygones. But the next time you see her, it's like, who are you? Who? 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 So, she gets very owlish on you. So, just be prepared for that. And, this is a good scratch. Shouldn't be scratching my skin, but it's such a good scratch. Now, Teresa is recording an audiobook. Well, she has a book, and she's meeting with the publishers, and they have the book cover. The book cover looks great. It actually looks very familiar to the other one that she put out. And now she has to record the audio for the book. And she's having a rough time just getting through, I guess, the dedication page. I think that's what they call it. Where, of course, no, this is for so-and-so and such and such. Of course, it was dedicated to mainly her immediate family. I'm husband. And she just feels really bad because, you know, she went to jail for around, what was it, like a year or so? A year or less than a year. And one of her daughters was really young. So she was terrified that she was going to come out of jail and her daughter wouldn't really recognize her or really be able to connect with her because, you know, at that young age is when a lot of the development and the bonding is supposed to occur between parents and their children. And so when one of the parents or both of the parents are gone, then it's just like, okay, even if it's for just like a year, that's still a long time to a young child. So then it's like, okay, is she going to hate me because I went to jail and she's not going to want to have anything to do with me? Like, I don't know. And still, Teresa at that time didn't know the ramifications of her going to jail because you never really know until you have issues and then it comes out. So she was having a very tough time doing that. So shout out to her. I was like, and I appreciate this because we never see this side of Teresa. Teresa's calm, and speaking about, she has to deal with her other daughter who's very shy and quiet and kind of comes off as a little timid. And I don't think that she's being bullied or anything at school, but I think Teresa just wants to make sure that, look, I understand what could happen to, you know, a cute, pretty girl like her who is quiet. Things could go very left as far as school's concerned. So she wants to make sure that her daughter feels comfortable to just talk to her about anything that's going on, because she will need someone to talk to at some point. And sometimes you may not want to talk to your sisters, maybe, or maybe it might be vice versa. And so we go, and Melissa had her launch party and it was a success. Everyone showed up. Joe, his grandmother, yeah, I believe his grandmother was having her birthday, and so that's why that didn't happen. And that's why he wasn't there. And Chris he wasn't upset, he was disappointed because he knows Joe and himself had a really good relationship. And we remember, it was always the wives that would argue with each other and mess things up for the guys. Because the guys, even if they have issues with each other, even if we have issues with each other, it really is like water under the bridge. You can almost do anything to another guy and they don't care after a certain period of time. You don't forget. You do not forget, but you don't care. A lot of women, they hold grudges and it's very direct. So they know if they don't like each other, it does not stay dormant for long. And they don't have a problem cutting each other off. That's definitely one of the main differences. Now, some guys are like that too. Some women are like, you do anything to them, as long as in that moment you're treating them with respect, whatever, they're good. But I'm saying usually it's just how it is. It's not about being extra emotional. It's just about how you handle things, what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept, type of thing. So, yeah, Chris misses Joe, and so they're going to figure out a time that they can go and hang out. And actually, they do set up a time. I'm jumping ahead, but Chris calls Joe, and they set up a time for them to come to the house. It's going to be on the Friday, and of course Teresa's going to be there. They're just going to have a good time. They're just going to have a good time and enjoy each other, because Chris was talking to Jacqueline and to Teresa saying, you know, I do miss him. It's just like, yeah, because you guys got along and all that. So, yeah, reach out. Of course, feel free to reach out. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear from you. And he was. He was very happy to hear from her, hear from Chris. And the thing is that they went to rock climbing. Teresa and her daughter, who's a little bit more quiet, Dolores, her daughter, and Siggy and her daughter. And because they're all close, relatively close in age, it was just like, okay, let's all just come together, bring the girls, and have them do an activity. And the girls were having fun. Siggy goes and informs Teresa, you know, there's all these rumors on the blog saying that you're getting divorced and all that. And Teresa lets it be known that's not happening. You know, it is just rumors. And because Siggy was just saying it as just like, that's what's being said. I'm not saying I believe it. You know, everything looks fine. And I even talked to Jacqueline, and she said that, no, you guys are good. So I don't know why they're saying those things. And Teresa's just like, okay, that was cool. I guess Jacqueline and I, we really are on the mend, because I forgot that Jacqueline put it out there saying, well, you know, what about that girl who was on the, that you call on the desk, and Joe was in an compromising position. I'm like, I forgot about that. Remember, their reunions were legendary. Their meetups and their reunions, because they would go crazy. So, Of course, the new Teresa was just like, I really appreciate Siggy for being so upfront and honest with me and just kind of letting me know that this is what I'm hearing. I don't believe it, but I just want to let you know that, these things are being said, just in case if you don't even know. Because sometimes that can be the case as well. And again, this is a new Teresa, because the old Teresa will have just blown it off and probably will have been irritated. But she's really trying. Hopefully this holds, because we know it's going to get bad. Well, I think once Jacqueline and Teresa, they find something to argue with each other, that's when things are going to blow up. That was pretty much the gist of the episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, and come back next week. What the hell?